Samantha Furkey in the studio. Once again, here we go. Time for open mic radio. Take a load off, enjoy the show. This is open mic ready. That's right, it's KOPN Columbia. It's 89.5 FM, you know it, KOPN Columbia. 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon, which means it is once again time for Open Mic Radio. A little change of pace today as we present a show of poetry and spoken word. Here's one from the wonderful Anne Wright to start things off.
Okay, this one's called Peacemaking. Dragonflies, flowers, and crosses, among the depths of my heart climbing to new shoes, in open doors of peace and righteousness where they kiss, but not on the lips. Books, souvenirs, and crosses of rain raining among the simple and complex where they kiss, but not on the lips. Phones, dresser knobs, and doors inside the mind of my soul, the spirit chooses my direction where the sinner and saint kiss, but not on the lips. Preachers, cults, and students torturing the soul of my ancestors, where penitence and grace kiss, but not on the lips.
Wow. We can clap for that, right? Okay, so wonderful. Welcome to the program. It's Open Mic Radio. It's Saturday, September the 16th, and this is definitely a change of pace for us today, and I'm already sort of at a loss here. So please bear with us this afternoon and enjoy what we're going to bring to you, because I'm really happy to do it, and I'm glad you're with us. I've got a very cool show planned, so stick around, okay? We do this most every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 6 p.m. We do live music and interviews with some of Missouri's finest musicians and bands. Today, we are taking a little bit of a side track, and we're doing poetry, which, of course, is so integrated with music that we sometimes forget about it. I think the lyrics of songs are essentially poems in many cases, at least. And I'm people know me as a music person, but I'm a real lyric person. I love good music, but I'm very lyrically driven too. Most of the stuff that I really like, I'm more driven to it by the lyrics than the music. And of course I love talented musicians, but man, there's something about the words. And so I'm real happy to be able to do this afternoon, okay? I am not joined, as usual, by my good friend Kind Kurt. So I played a little recorded version of our intro this afternoon. Kurt is running the door down at Booch's this afternoon after a big Missouri football win. And it's probably going to be wild this evening downtown. So if you're down there, have a good time, but be careful and be cool with everybody else that you run into, okay? Yes, all right. But what we do is feature awesome local, regional music and poetry, and the artists who create that stuff, all right? Another wonderful summer weekend here in mid-Missouri. Had a little bit of rain this morning out in Rocheport where I live, and we really need it. But anyway, the weather's been just beautiful, and I hope you enjoy it. You can feel fall here almost. I don't know, maybe it's already here depending on what time you get up in the morning, but it's beautiful out there, so enjoy it. There's always a lot to do in the Columbia area, and I hope you're finding ways to make the most of it, okay? What'd you do last night? It was not First Friday, but it was Friday, and if you want to give us a call and say hi and bring us up to snuff on what's happening out there in town, you can do that. The numbers here are 443-8255. That's 573-443-8255, 443-7380. Either one of those will get you here in the studio with us. And, you can call and say hi, or maybe you got something else you want to chat about. I got to turn this other phone down. Sometimes I leave that phone on, and then we right in the middle of something, and the thing rings. Okay, so... Yeah, I'm looking forward to the show. We are featured, or this afternoon we will be featuring, I guess, poems and spoken word stuff from a number of local poets. We started with Wright. Anne was here, I don't know, a couple of months ago probably. We were introduced through Sam D'Agostino, I guess. Maybe Wayne might have been in the mix there a little bit too. Right. I think. At any rate, Anne and I spoke a little bit off the air. After her, she actually read, or you actually performed. You did some spoken word stuff in the middle of a song. I think that
it was
that those guys were playing, right?
Patti Smith's song, "Dancing Barefoot" is what we would.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Actually, if you missed any of this stuff, by the way, you can go back and hear it. The archives are there on the website at mikehagan.com, and just click on the Open Mic Radio button, and you can go back and download or listen to any of these previous programs. But if you look at the one that we did a couple months ago, I think it was, with Sam D'Agostino. I think John Lamb came in for that one as well. But Anne did some spoken word stuff that afternoon. Anyway, we decided it would be cool to kind of do a whole show devoted to poetry. I've never done that before, and I've been doing this show for quite a few years. So anyway, I'm excited to do it, and I'm expecting a visit from Nic Danger. Those familiar, he's a up-and-coming hip-hop artist around town here, really making some waves recently. I think Nick's going to stop by at some point. He's got a big gig tomorrow down at Cafe Berlin. I think that's a benefit. I'm not sure exactly what's happening down there, but we'll talk with Nick about that. My friend Bummy will be down here hopefully to visit with us, and maybe we can get a song or two out of him. He's fantastic and a really interesting young man. We'll be doing an October 28th Halloween show with Bummy. We're going to make that into a real party. So, okay. Once again, 443-8255, 443-7380 if you want to join us. And that's it. All right. Great to have you here. If you want to be a part of it, give us a call. Otherwise, we're going to do some cool poetry stuff this afternoon. I've got some interesting music too. Our friends, the January Lanterns, released a new song last night. It's called Time is Softer, and they're just fantastic. And Kristen got a hold of me the other day, and we were hoping to have them maybe come down next week, but I think they've got some stuff planned. But we'll get them back here in the studio with us sometime in the next little bit, hopefully before the end of the year. But I've got a new song from them called Time is Softer. We'll try to mix that in sometime throughout the show here, maybe if we need some background stuff. And my great friend and wonderful musician Rae Fitzgerald released a new record I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I guess, and it is outstanding, and I'm hoping to play some of that as well. She's joined on this new record by Chaz Premack, who's just an outstanding virtuoso guitarist. Actually, he performs under the moniker Lake Mary, and also has performed with Fubutsushi. And anyway, he's quite gifted guitar player, and I love the fact that Ray's got him involved in the mix now, and her old pal Lucas Oswald also involved in this new project, and he's amazing. So anyway, great stuff from Rae Fitzgerald, brand new record called Say I Look Happy. We're going to and she's a poet. Rae is a poet who puts it to music, and I'm absolutely just enamored with her. So anyway, so that's what we're going to do today, okay? At some point, we will try to do a little rundown of some of the other things that are happening around town tonight, tomorrow, later in the week. Lots to do, so get out there and have some fun. Phone lines, one more time, 443-8255, 443-7380. We are down here at the brand new KOPN facilities, 401 Bernadette Drive. I'm really enjoying the new space down here, and it's great that we can have people like we have this afternoon come down and join us. Okay, last week, Big Cat Matt, Rockabilly Corner. If you're not familiar, he is a remarkable presenter of rockabilly and classic early country music. He does that on Saturday from 4 to 6, the second Saturday of the month. That's this same time slot, but just once a month on the second Saturday. That's Big Cat Matt, Rockabilly Corner. The week before, we had a fantastic show, actually. We dedicated the show to artists who were performing at the Mo Jazz Festival, which was out at Rose Park last Saturday, the 9th, as a matter of fact, and just amazing stuff. Young woman named Samantha Furkey, who's a local woman who is really making some waves in the jazz scene. She's a great singer, and she's writing some wonderful music. She had a new record called Mirage that was out last year that really got some attention in the jazz world. We had the Bel Airs were here. Lau Tizer played some music of his. Anyway, just a great time, and a great show last week at Rose Park with a bunch of outrageous jazz musicians. All right, a lot of fun. If you missed the show, once again, get the podcast, check out the videos, all that stuff. All right, on the website, MikeHagan.com. And a couple more things, and we're going to get to it here. Big thanks, Peter Rabbit, grooving on the one mic, 2 o'clock until 4 every Saturday. Right, great music. It's mostly sort of rhythm and blues, R&B, little hip hop. Yeah, definitely some grooving stuff from 2 to 4 on Saturdays. Before that, Morgan and a Motherland Jam, awesome music from the vast continent of Africa. Morgan is from Zimbabwe, and he knows more about African music than certainly anyone around here, and he presents it every Saturday afternoon from noon until 2, and he is just awesome. And if you like, and if you don't like it, you'll learn to like it, because Motherland Jam is just full of great rhythms and great music, and with a host that just really brings it to you. So check that out, noon until 2. We've got the board until 6 o'clock. It's Open Mic Radio. After that, Rashumba and a reggae party. Again, awesome roots rock reggae music from 6 o'clock until 8. 8 to 11 is Blues on Broadway. Chris does another fantastic show if you like blues music. He does some requests as well, and just really digs deep into the old blues archive. And we've got quite an archive here, I must say, at the station. So join us, all right? KOPN, it's your imagination station, and I'm so thrilled to be here, and I'm happy to be at the new facilities, and we've got really good stuff happening. So appreciate you all being involved. You can donate securely online at kopn.org. If you're not a member of the station, you should be. It's a great project, and yeah, that's enough. Okay. All right. Today's show, once again, we are joined by a whole slew of poets from the local area here. We're going to get to know them throughout the show and hear some of their work. We start Memphis. Chris, how are you, my friend? Good to see Memphis in the house. Yeah, let's start with Ann Wright, though. And Ann, let's talk a little bit about what we have going today. Maybe you can introduce the people that we have with us, and then we can get to some more poems, okay?
Okay.
All right, so people who aren't familiar with you, a little bit about your own background, Ann.
Okay, so I'm from the St. Louis area. I have one published book back in 2020. You can get it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. I'm a writer.
What's the title of your book?
God-Inspired Poetry. And I'm a writer, and I also wait tables at D-Rose. So,
all right, shout out to D-Rose. Get some good food over there, actually.
Yeah, they do,
and they do great catering as well.
Yes.
Very cool. Okay, so to your right we have Grace. Why don't we slide the mic? Hi, Grace.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Thanks for coming down this afternoon.
Yeah, I was excited to.
Yeah, what's your little bit about your background?
Well, as far as writing goes, I've been doing it ever since I was, able to.
Where are you from?
Washington, Missouri. Grew up on a small hobby farm there.
Okay.
So, yeah, I've been writing for a long time. I also really enjoy doing film photography. Working on a really fun project with that, and sometimes pairing the two together. So.
All right. And you live in Columbia now?
Yes. Yeah, I do.
Are you involved in any professional projects that involve this type of work?
Well, I am the operations director for True False Film Society. It does not involve my own personal work, but it is a big collaborative effort.
All right. Well, and just as a quick side note, we know there was a little bit of an accident up there at the Tellers building yesterday, and True False has an office above them, I know. So whatever happened over there, best of luck to everybody who was involved, and I hope that no one was hurt, and I hope that they can, that nothing too serious was lost.
Yeah, we're very lucky that everybody got out.
Okay, great. Wonderful. All right, we'll have you read something in just a bit here, but I want to slide over to your right, and we'll introduce ourselves to...
My name's Don.
Hi, Don.
Yeah, I landed in Columbia in 1973.
All right, so you're an old timer. 50 years, actually, now.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll be done.
To go to university, and then I thought I'd stay because Columbia is the center of the universe, you know.
It's a nice little town, I'll tell you that much.
It's right in the middle of Missouri.
It is.
And Missouri's right in the middle of the United States.
That's right.
And people from all over the world come to go to school and work here, and each one of us is the center of our own universe. So I call Columbia the center of the universe.
I think that's a great observation, actually. I had a conversation not long ago with somebody who was talking about the whole multiverse idea, and I discount that strongly, but I think that your answer is that's the same thing. There's the multiverse is real, but it's that there's 7 billion of them, and we all are the center of our own universe, and we all experience it differently, and so that really is. I think you're absolutely right, and I love it. Don is also. I recognized him when he came into the studio or in the station a little bit ago, and actually I didn't. He looked familiar, and I was like, God, he looks familiar. He's also the bubble man downtown. If you ever see a guy slinging huge bubbles down there around maybe 9th and Broadway usually, or around that area, that's Don. How did you come to decide to do that?
Oh, I saw somebody do it about 5 years ago. I thought, that looks like a lot of fun. And just every weekend I usually do. I'm doing it now when they give the free food away, at 9th and Broadway. But this is much better.
Well, it's a wonderful thing, and I appreciate you kind of giving that to the community. We've got, and you're right, Columbia is really cool like that. That's we have musicians on the corners, we have bubble makers, we have hacky sack professionals out there in front of the city building, and this afternoon we've got waves of fans from the stadium moving now through downtown, and I was there just briefly before I came here to the station, and man, it was going to be wild down there. So, okay, Don, thanks again for coming down this afternoon. You're a poet, I guess?
Oh, yes, I've been writing poems way back, and my house burned down, so now I'm writing new poems the last 4 months, so...
Well, God, it's a fire theme today, I guess. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not. But all right, let's slide on over to Elizabeth, who's on your right. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi there.
Nice to meet you. I appreciate you coming down this afternoon.
Absolutely, thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit about your background? Are you from Columbia?
No, I came here to go to college about 22 years ago. I got degrees in creative writing and psychology, and I, too, have just stayed here ever since.
Okay, wonderful. And nothing of yours has burned down anytime recently?
Thankfully not.
Okay, all right, good. Over now once more. Yeah, please grab that microphone.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi, my name is KancHans.
KancHans, pleasure to meet you. Thank you for coming this afternoon.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, so this is actually kind of like a really hard question, and it has to do with everything, because one of the reasons why I write poetry is to express myself in ways that I can't through just dialogue and conversation and stuff like that. So it's you're asking me to describe myself.
No, okay, I won't. I'll ask you where you're from. How about that? Where were you born?
Yeah, so I was born in India, and then when I was 1, I moved to Mississippi.
Wow.
And then I moved to New Orleans, and then I moved to Ohio, and then I came here for high school. And I've been
with family
here,
and okay.
Yeah, with my family. I've been here for the past 7 years. And
where did you go to high school?
I went to Rockbridge High School. So yeah, I've kind of been involved with things for a while, and I love writing poetry because it's able to give me that release and that catharsis and that ability to express myself in ways that I feel like words can't. So yeah, I'm really
How long
excited.
have you been writing poetry?
So I actually only really started writing poetry to express my feelings a year ago, I would say. And before that, I used to write just kind of for fun or about other things. I would write a lot of songs and poetry for class projects. I always thought that was so fun to do, when they would give us an open-ended project and they're it doesn't have to be an essay. I'm okay, I'm gonna write a song, and
awesome.
I love the creative process.
Do you play music as well?
You've
used the word song a couple of times. I thought maybe you're a songwriter or musician as well.
I like to do it all. I'm open to trying so many different things. I used to play some instruments like the cello, and when I was younger, I played the guitar and a little bit of piano. And recently, I'm actually kind of trying to get back into like writing songs, and I've been into singing and like dancing. I love doing karaoke. And I'm kind of in the process of discovering who I am right now too. So I'm like, I'll do it all. I'm open to whatever, and I love expressing myself and being creative and sharing it with people.
All right. Well, we're going to give you an opportunity this afternoon to do that. Now, my friend Jimbo over here, he's kind of last but not least. Hi, Jim.
Hello.
Good to see you.
It's great to see you.
It was a surprise to see you out there in the parking lot. I'm like, wow, Jimbo's here and he's got his guitar. This is going to be cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's great to see you again.
Very good. Okay. Hey, have you been, did you see that Charles Wesley Godwin show at Rose Park on Thursday night? I don't know if you were down. That was a great, outstanding show. Yeah. Okay, so why don't we, first of all, I should let the crowd know because I forgot to ask you anything because I already know everything about you. So I should let people know a little bit about yourself. Where are you from, Jim?
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri originally, and then I came here to go to college and just kind of stayed.
That is such a common theme and thread, I think, not just in the room today, but just in general around Columbia. And I think, Don, you're right. That's one of the things that makes Columbia such a cool place. So, all right, cool. So Jimbo has a guitar, and he writes some songs. We're going to do some poems as well. I think we're going to shift back now to the left and let this young woman read a poem for us. All right? Okay. I want you to pronounce your name for me one more time so I don't mess it up.
Yeah, so my name is KancHans. I've been going by K recently.
K.
So if that's easier to remember.
Well, I think we're going to do it. I'm going to call you K, and I'm going to tell people that they are listening to Open Mic Radio on KOPN Columbia. K, awesome. Get it? KOPN Columbia, yes. 89.5 FM, and we're streaming on the web at kopn.org. We're doing some poetry and some spoken word this afternoon, and Kay's going to do one for us. Yes. Right now, I guess.
I apologize. I'm trying to find it. It's on my phone.
That's all right. I'll let you search for it there for a minute, and I'll remind people that if they want to hear any of these previous programs, once again, go to the website there at mikehagan.com, and you can click on the archives button, and you can go and check out these old programs, and there's a bunch of great stuff in there with some really outstanding musicians. For many years now. We've been doing it for quite some time. So, okay, the phone numbers, one more time, 443-8255, 443-7380. If you want to join the program, we'll say hi when we get a break here from the music and the poetry, okay? You ready, Kay?
Yes, so this actually isn't the poem that I prepared, but based on the whatever we've already said, I thought this one was kind of perfect.
I like it. That's exactly what I was hoping would happen.
Awesome. Okay, so here I go. In a daze, not sure what to do, what's right for me, is it what feels new? But the new stuff is scary, I can't predict its end. I wish I wasn't alone, I wish someone would lend me their hand. But there's no one here, when they are, they just hurt. They don't see me for me, they don't see my worth. Blinded by their pain, maybe, or perhaps blinded by mine. Can someone tell me what's going on so I don't have to sit here and whine? But no one's gonna tell me, are they? That's the trick you like to play. My curse is to be alone and figure out things the hard way. I'm getting tired, but that's just it, you would say. I need to learn how to rest because no one else can make me feel okay. Well, resting is boring. I get tired of being in my own head. It's like a battlefield for me. Don't know which mine will leave me dead. I want to spit out all the contents for you, but I fear they won't make sense. I'm the only one who makes sense to me, and when I see you, I feel the need to pretend that my mind looks just like yours when really I'm on a different plane. See, you're living in the physical world, but I'm up here in my brain. Who even am I? The words have never worked. Describing me seems like an impossible task. My brain is one that needs to be searched. I feel ever-changing, you can't contain me in time. You try to put me in boxes, but really I'm a feeling you need to find. Do I make you feel whole, or do I make you feel scared? These feelings go hand in hand, but you may be unaware. I am a connection of all things in this world that are important to me. Listen and you can observe. I can't tell you who I am. You need to feel for yourself because really I'm just you, some kind of presence in your head. Your feeling of me will be different than the rest, so please just take me as I come and don't expect anything else. Please just let me be me. I don't know who she is either, but we can figure it out together. Just let me be our leader. The wind will direct us. I can notice the way it moves because I'm one with the earth. I'm sorry if this makes you confused. I am not a person. A person is just a word, and I am so much more than that. To think otherwise would be absurd. So yes, here I am, trying to fit these words together like a puzzle and allow you to observe. What you see in front of you is not all of me. I'm much bigger than this room when I'm truly set free. There's a lot happening inside of me. The lines get all tangled up. They can't be separated anymore. I feel so deeply to my core. Handling these feelings is no easy chore, but it's a curse I'm doomed to suffer. You put me in this place for some reason, so please, can we just help each other?
Oh. Very, very nice.
Thank you.
Wow. All right, I love it. Okay, Kay, if people and normally I would ask artists and musicians if people want to get in touch with them, to have them play a show, but maybe you want the same. I mean, is there? And this is a question to all of you. I mean, is there of opportunity for poets to go and perform like at parties or at a show or things like that? I know you do the...
Well, we do the club. So the club is every first and third Wednesday of every month, 7 o'clock at the Armory upstairs.
Okay.
So
one more time, the dates again?
The first and third Wednesday
First and third Wednesday of every month. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Unless, of course, weather or holiday or anything like that. But so what we do there is we bring our works. If you're interested in bringing your work, you can, or if you just want to come listen, if you're just interested in hearing poetry, that's welcome as well. Lyrics are welcome. Musicians, anyone wanting to share that type of written word, spoken word, is welcome to come share.
What's it like? What's a typical Wednesday like when you do that?
Well, lately we had some new poets come in. John Dorsey and Jason Reinberg? I think I'm looking at.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
They came in and they shared some of their works, and so we all come in, share our new stuff, ask for feedback. We give opinions on, I like that line, or maybe you could change this here.
I'm guessing there's probably sort of like a regular group that maybe a core group sort of maybe that's kind of you can usually count on being there or something like that.
People that are here today are pretty much the core group, but we have others that straggle in every once in a while. We've had people just come by and visit. So we've had up to 10 to 12 members at one time, and then as low as 1 or 2 sometimes. So.
All right, cool. All right, Kay, are you involved in that group? Is that how?
Yes.
That's part of the.
Yeah, I started going in January. That was a huge transition in my life, and I was like, okay, I need to find something, and finding this poetry group was so helpful for me just in my journey and processing my feelings, and yeah, I have fun every time I go.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's continue with the poetry. Elizabeth, you're up. You want to? Would you like to read something for us?
Sure, I'd be delighted to. This is the first poem in a long and torturous series that I wrote.
Long and torturous. I like it.
It's called Novel Without a Key, a poem to be wrapped, and it is dedicated to Stephen Hawking.
Interesting.
I staggered wordless, glass in hand. The ice and tinkling said my name. Let the waters speak. I am a wake. I breathe a river red with fruit and blood. My eyes run dry. My chest fills with unsweet wine, forced still for delicacy. Those who eat an ortolan grace themselves with cloth or shroud to hide the sight of sin. Bleach my body then in the bluing light, and leave me staring sightless to the starless sky. Leave me to the future. I am, as told by little birds, Persephone, yet unwritten, who bloomed in mad electric flame as she returned in faith to sunlit lands. I rise from the river and come gasping, grasping rocks, to the city of wolves, to men at war with time. Under trees, I wonder, and do the trees, I wonder, hunger for the human dead, reaching they with slow fingers, in quiet vein, for food, for thought, to raise above and spend in burning light, or yielding through a gate below to pooling dark.
Thank you. The word Persephone. I've recently been reading a book called Persephone's Quest, and it's written by a gentleman named Gordon Wasson. And if you know anything about psychedelics or the history of psilocybin mushrooms, Gordon Wasson and his wife Valentina were the two that were responsible for introducing Western culture to that now common thing that we know. But anyway, Gordon Wasson, along with a woman named Stella, I forget her last name, wrote this remarkable book years ago. It's 1973, I think, Don, as a matter of fact, Persephone's Quest. So, Persephone, who was she?
This was the first poem in the series, and it was a call. Like they say that in the journey of the hero, there's a call to action, and it was a call to action. There was a grief that drove me into the landscape of my own mind, and it is the landscape of the mind. It's the territory of the brain. It's the
invisible landscape.
Yeah, it's the consolidation of memory, and it's the persistence of memory, and it's the consumption of being. And so they were difficult poems to write, and I eventually had a nervous breakdown.
Okay. Well, how old are these poems? Have they been written recently, or are they from way back? Or
these are from about 5 years ago.
Okay, all right. Well, that was beautiful. Do you have more to read for us?
Sure.
Okay, all right. Would you like to read another one now?
Oh, sure. Okay.
I'd like to have you read another one, and
okay.
then we'll talk with Don for a minute. Okay.
All right.
All right. Once again, I'll remind people that you're listening to Open Mic Radio on KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. We're fortunate enough this afternoon to have a wonderful group of poets joining us in the studio, and I'm thrilled to have them here, and we get to hear some of their stuff. And anyway, I'm real happy to do it. I also want to say hi to my buddy Matt Deathrow in the house, wonderful jazz musician up and hanging around from New Orleans for a little bit here. Taking a little rest and rehab. How's your wrist?
Pretty good. Switched up the cast.
Dude, those photos are wild. You can't see it, but he's got like some funky bionics going on in his left wrist now or something. So anyway, Matt, maybe we'll play something a little bit later. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right, Elizabeth, please. Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're going to read?
Okay. So this poem is called Compass Adamant, and it starts with the line "Feed me, Seymour." Funny, feed me Seymour. But this was I was writing the dissolution of my own mind, and so this was
interesting. And
so this was like a black hole. It was like a black hole speaking, and it. I think that there are some echoes of Yeats. I think that when we reach the
William Butler Yeats, that is.
And
Second Coming is one of my favorite poems, perhaps of all time.
You're going to see it here. Yep. And it's one of the things that I've discovered by going to this poetry group is that there's a common landscape. I think that there's that plane that we all enter, kind of going there, and so it's interesting to see that. But this is called Compass Adamant. Feed me, Seymour. From my mouth take coins two-sided, many-edged. Pull from my jaws the legion swords inset, and through my lips draw song. Selah. Many, many are the voices of the dead. They do not stand to reason, their heads as hanging held in countless shades of gray, all hues of bone and red. They know nothing. From Tartarian sand would what rough beast arise? Do not speak its name. Metal its flesh, oil its blood, stately it walks, casting the air electric in soundless waves, in heavy water. See the face unknown, its wine-dark teeth, an eye once bright, a wheel spinning set with hands twice blessed which never lived, itself turning, borne skyward on wings of no bird, colorless, unbodied, unceasing. The animal king would take me. I must not fear. Memento mori.
Memento mori. For those who aren't familiar with that phrase, what does it mean, please?
Remember that we die. Remember
That's right.
death.
Yep. Today's a good day. All right. Okay. Very good. Lovely, lovely stuff, Elizabeth. Thank you very much. Okay. So I'm thinking you might have more. So we can probably come back to you in a little bit here. Now, Don, my brother, what are you going to do for us?
Yes, sir. Well, I guess this is the first poem I ever wrote when I was trying to escape the draft, and I went out to California, and then this, I don't know, it came to me, I guess I was thinking about life.
All right.
And so then...
All right. Well, please share it with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
When youth is present, the paint of the soul is wet and ready to be impressed with intricate etchings or ready to be marred by a careless and unconcerned hand. As fleet-footed time opens the eyes of the naive, the color begins to harden and change. The leaves of the soul are turned from innocent white to wise green. The passing of the seasons of knowledge and the eternal blowing of the winds of experience scour indelible marks of memory on the branches of the mind. The memory of a soft, gentle rain makes the green love brilliant, but the frost bites sad and mars the surface, and the wrinkles of existence start to tell. Reminiscence and peace of mind are all that cling the aged ones to the vine. Then generous time becomes stingy and says goodbye, and the knowledge of life is raked into a heap that smokes incoherently into the sky. I ended up calling that Birth to Death.
Is that what it's called?
Well, yeah, after I wrote it, after a while, I thought, that sounds like Birth to Death, so.
And honestly, that was like the first thing that you would actually consider a poem that you've ever written?
Yes, sir.
Wow, okay. Give me an idea of when that was. I mean, if you're avoiding the draft, we're back in 1970s.
Yeah, this was 1966. Yeah, a day or two ago.
Amazing. Amazing. All right, well, thank you for sharing. All right. Miss Grace. Hi.
Hello. Well, first, I just wanted to say that I am really grateful to everyone who's read so far. It's incredible.
I should add that as well. I'm thrilled, and thank you again, Kay and Elizabeth and Jimbo. You get your chance to play a little tune for us here as well. But anyway, this is awesome, and I just want to keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Okay.
So good to be here.
Awesome.
I have a couple of different things that I prepared. So
please, yeah.
I'll just start with this one. And I wrote it this past April. It was kind of an intense April for many reasons. It's called How April Works.
Okay.
It's tearing up over coffee cup yellow buttercups in the bramble, the season of vines greening and choking trees, pollen choking me. A tear for every petal that droops, that blooms, the budding things, the blossoms, what bloom. Boom my heart for you, a sticky sweet, too much cream, oat milk spilling over onto white sheets. A retreat into the woods from hard work, from surgeries, from long days, from broken things, from senators mistreating us gay. Let us play, let us play, let us play, let us play. Grace prepares food this day, a way to praise our worth, our continue. Bike tires to gravel. Bike tires meet gravel where beaver dams are building as birds gather here. Home from there, turtles travel, unraveling anew. This is how April works. Unscrewing us, bound up and rusted from sorrow, from past loss, nearly lost, not so distant frost, and not quite enough of it either to quell these whining mosquitoes. My lips to your hips, tulips red, and just as inviting, what hides inside the violets reminds me of opening you up this morning, the other day, tomorrow, and I feel less like dying.
Wow. Beautiful. Very, very nice. This is so cool. All right, so y'all listen to this out there. It is awesome, right? The phone number is 443-8255 if you want to share and call and say hi. But this is outstanding. Thank you, Grace. Beautiful. Was that? That was just this recent April.
Yeah, this past April.
When did you start writing poetry? Have you been writing for a long time?
Yeah, I guess I remember when I was 8. I think that's when I really started leaning into writing and journaling a lot. I just was always reading, and I guess my biggest heroes as a kid were writers. So. And
you mentioned that you work with the True False gang.
Yes.
What's your role with True False?
I'm ops director, so I am in charge of a lot of different teams for the fest and also for the cinema, which is year round. So. It's my role encompasses both of those, and
so it's a full-time all-year job. So you guys are as soon as the festival ends, you begin preparing for the next one, and it's just a nonstop thing.
Pretty much, and also since the cinema is open 365 days a year,
the actual
that's daily things.
Of course, right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you have more poems to read?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so I'm just putting them in my memory bank here to kind of see what we're going to do here in a minute. But Anne, you're kind of quiet over there in the corner.
I'm still here.
Yeah, you still here?
Yeah.
Do you have something that you might want to share with us?
Sure, I have one. I brought 2, but there's always a little bit of extra lying around. So.
All right, so before we go there, though, I want to talk again about the club and let other people know that they're welcome there, and that's the whole point of the thing that happens every other Wednesday at the Armory, to get interested people there to share their stuff and to just hang out and listen.
Yeah, of course, right? It's open to everyone. It's anyone who's interested in poetry. You don't have to be any kind of professional writer trained or anything. Just interested. If you think your writing is terrible, bring it anyway. I mean, we're supportive.
Do you have people that come and just listen?
Yeah, we've had a few just come and listen. Most of the time people bring something to share, but that's always welcome if you want to just...
What's the physical room like? I mean, is it comfortable or is it...
It's kind of like a classroom. So it's of course not a class, but it's a classroom type area. It's, fluorescent lighting, hard chairs and tables and things, but we make it comfortable.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, I'm going to come down to one of these.
I would love that.
And just hang out because I'm really enjoying this afternoon. So,
cool.
Why don't you read one for us?
Okay. This is a compilation, so it's lines from different poems that I've written that all went together somehow into one poem. So it's
cool.
Paper crumbles as money should, while the sound of your heart breaking was the loudest sound I've ever heard. But no bread in the rocks. The petals choke the thorns as petals do sometimes, with tension thick enough for some inventive enough to bring just a butter knife. Brandish blues, matchless black, and turning flowers back to their proper time in the Mad Hatter seems much too sane. Tumulted twixt tween going on the triumph a tune my soul can sing, a flabbergasted night ship upon a Kentley Harrow, juxtaposed meadow of melody long. I tie you around my neck, around my finger, around my ankle, marrying you many more times than that. I have a point, but is it pointy enough to draw blood? Maybe I'll just write about flowers. Stained green, I live in this paper house, trying to burn it down, while the lines of my hands are as unique as hers, but it's hard to find their value on time. Colors of cars, colors of tile, colors of books, of paper and books. And my face dies in view of itself every day, while the Lord is my fight, not my song, like most, I guess. A silence without a clocking page to turn, a guttery green qualo upon the guessing morrow, all aglow like a banter of midnight spoken. A new page broken and untried, a new life strewn about the Comforter's delight by the gotten green hope, his triumph spoken throughout the sky.
Now that is crazy. That is a combination of a bunch of lines from other poems. Because I mean, if you didn't know, you wouldn't know clearly.
Right.
Wow, very cool. Love it.
Thanks.
What do you call that? Is
a
it
compilation. I didn't give it a title for
fair
the
enough,
whole thing,
yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. All right. And the poems that those lines were drawn from come from a whole vast group of poems, and
Yeah, well, mainly from
different
what I had
timelines
written,
and all that too.
Yeah, most of this came from stuff I was writing back in 2014 or 15, and I didn't get it all published 2020. So it was a while ago that I wrote all of that. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna ask if Jimbo will play a song for us here, and then I want to come back and talk to you all a little bit about influences, like who you like to read, and people who have kind of made a mark on you, and maybe a little bit about publishing and writing and in more of a professional from that angle. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, so. Let me remind everyone that it's KOPN Columbia 89.5 FM, and you're listening to Open Mic Radio. We do this every Saturday afternoon. Normally it's live music in the studio with interviews with the people that make it. This afternoon we're doing poetry, and it's a great change of pace, and I'm digging it. So, and music's never too far from us, though, and luckily my buddy Jimbo actually has his guitar with him as well this afternoon. So, Jimbo, a little bit maybe about what you're going to do, and then your connection to the poetry group. And are you the only musician that shows up there? I mean, are there other people that show up, with instruments and stuff?
Well, Sam D'Agostino.
Sam, my brother.
Yes.
Good friend of the program here, actually.
Yeah, Sam comes fairly regular, and he'll bring his guitar and he'll play us a song.
Great.
So,
and Sam would have come down this afternoon, by the way, but he's got something going. I forget where he's at, but he's somewhere other than here. So, yeah. All right. Well, you want to play one for us?
Yeah. The song,
and maybe tell a little bit about it.
Sure. The song's called Lone Rider, and I wrote this song last May, and I wasn't too impressed with it, and I just kind of sat on it for a few months, and then I brought it to Poetry Club, and I went over with the group, and they were all like, man, this is a great song, and they're like, man, I really like the lyrics, I really like the words, and I thought, kind of re-examined how I thought about the song. So I'm like, well,
we're all our own harshest critic. It
so
seems.
I'm like, well, if everybody likes it, maybe I should come up with some melodies for it and play it. And I did, and then I really grew to like it, and I recorded with a good friend of mine. And
who do I know him?
John Galbraith.
Sure.
He recorded for me in his kitchen, and
I don't care where John records.
I know
good.
he had
all
some
right.
real equipment there, and he played lead guitar on it.
Oh yeah, he's
so
remarkable.
I was very happy, and I've got it up on SoundCloud on my SoundCloud page.
Very cool.
But so the song was really kind of grown. So
why don't you play it for us? All right.
Lone Rider.
All right. I'm gonna work your mic. You go ahead and start it.
Head west.
praying that my break will last. Trying to make it through that mountain path with barely enough gas. Oh, praying that my break will last. Lone rider along the highway, always going my own way, never finding a place to stay, trying not to get blown off the road, out in the pouring rain, out on the Kansas plains, trying not to get blown off the road, out in the pouring rain, out on the Kansas plains. Lone rider along the highway, always going my own way, never finding a place to stay. Boy, chasing the setting sun, always living life on the run, always chasing the setting sun, always living life on the run. Lone rider on a lonesome highway, always going my own way, and never finding a place to stay, not knowing what's waiting at the end of the road, not knowing what's waiting at the end of the road. Lone rider on a lonesome highway.
Nice job, Jim. Very cool. All right, there you go. Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. What's happening, Memphis? We got Bummy's here, Nick's here? Huh? Nick's here?
Nic Danger.
Oh, right on. All right, cool. So we got a few more minutes for top of the hour, and I think what we'll do at the top of the hour at 5, we'll let you guys take a little break for a few minutes, and I'll visit with my buddy Nic Danger, who's in the house here, and we'll find out what he's up to, and then we'll come back and we'll do some more poetry after that, okay? All right, let's talk, though, quickly before the top of the hour, a little bit about where you come up with your inspiration and that type of thing, and we can kind of, whoever's got a mic, Don, you got one right in front of you. How do you become inspired to write, and maybe a little bit about your influences in poetry?
Oh, well, what a question. Well, usually, now that I think about it, I'll wake up at night with an idea and a couple of lines, rhyming lines or something will come through, and I think, well, now if I don't get up and write those down right now, I'll forget them. And so I'll write a few, and maybe sometimes a few more will come to me, and then that next day or that morning or whenever I come across it again, I go, oh yeah, there's the beginning of that, and it's already had kind of an idea in the beginning, and then I can finish them up, or I've still got some unfinished, of course. But
sure. Do you have favorite poets that you like to read, or that you read as a youngster that kind of inspired you like that, or no?
I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know. I just, reading things and hearing things and stuff has always been, I know. I've always been a talker. That's
All
what
right.
it is.
And what about you?
We'll see. Kind of the same process. Like I'll think of a good line of going to sleep or something, and I'll have to wake up and write it down because for sure I'll forget it if I don't do that. So it's kind of that's similar. But a lot of influences. I like musicians. Music really inspires me to write. Other poets like Sylvia Plath is one of my favorites. I enjoy.
Yeah. I like Sylvia Plath.
Yeah, she's one of my favorites. And then as far as lyricists, Jeff Magnum, James Mercer.
Neutral Milk Hotel, Jeff Magnum?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's some intense stuff.
Yeah.
Only 2 records I think they made.
I don't even know for sure how many records.
Well,
they did,
there was the aeroplane flies over the sea, and then on Avery Island was the other one.
Right. It was about Anne Frank.
Yeah. Incredible.
And then James Mercer from the Shins, or Fiona Apple is another brilliant lyricist.
Fiona. Yeah.
So that's pretty much basis of how I get inspired,
Cool.
I guess.
Why don't you slide that mic over to Grace and let her.
Yeah, there are so many, honestly. I was trying to think of it just now, but Audre Lorde, I really like her work, and Mary Oliver, I'm a big fan of hers as well.
Okay. All right.
And Ada Limon, I absolutely love her work.
Not familiar.
She is the poet laureate of the U.S. right now.
Wow. Shows you how much attention I'm paying.
So, and I think sometimes it's like you read good work and it's like call and response. Lee Young Lee, he's so good. I love his stuff too. Yeah.
Cool. Any of this stuff getting play at True False in any way, shape, or form? I mean, do you ever get any? Does any of the stuff come from there? Maybe. I mean, maybe you see a movie and there's a poet in it or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess that currently no. That's not really a big part of my process right now. But that's a very different creative work. But of course, everything kind of informs the other.
That's exactly right.
It's not really. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Let's see, Elizabeth. Why don't you grab that microphone? Would you mind sharing a little bit about your own inspiration and how maybe a process of how you write a little bit, and if you have any particular poets who you really appreciate that you kind of tip the hat to?
Okay.
Certainly Yeats.
Yeats, yes. T.S. Eliot is a strong influence of mine. Plath, Milton. I've read an awful lot.
The God who hung the stars like lamps in heaven.
But I don't read much, very much anymore. But part of sort of development as a poet, I think we transmute the stuff of ourselves. I think that we can burn through and transform those things, and I think that there's a work involved in poetry. I think that there's a cry to the muses and an attempt to do work, but if I was going to write poetry, I would sit here for about 40 minutes without moving, and I would probably drool. I would look catatonic, and my brain would be busy. I would be blanking out and then letting it sort of shape itself around whatever poetic energy comes through. And so but the drooling is definitely involved.
Okay, all right. Kay, you got a minute to share about sort of some of your inspiration and maybe people who actually you like to read or listen to, perhaps. Maybe it's music,
Yeah. So when I write poetry, it's usually not like a concerted effort to write. It's usually like something really emotional is just like bursting out of me, and then I need to get it out, and it kind of just flows. It feels honestly like the poem is kind of finding me, which is pretty cool.
Well, and that's common many artists of lots of different, regardless if it's music or poetry or painting or sculpture, it seems to just come through them.
Yeah, it's a cool process. And yeah, I feel like there's kind of inspiration everywhere. Like, I typically, I write about my life and my emotions and like what I'm feeling. And so like I really like listening to music. I just love it. Recently I've been like really into some like intense stuff like Linkin Park. Like I really like the like songs and the lyrics. I like how emotional and like cathartic they are, and I kind of use that in my poems. And like I like making them a little bit more like heavy and like edgy and stuff like that. I also really like Audre Lorde. Like, I love seeing a strong queer woman of color who, writes about her experiences, like being so like outcast from like the rest of society and stuff. I really relate to that and I'm inspired by that. And yeah, it's just like a burst of emotion that flows through me.
All right. Well, that's awesome. And let's look at the clock. Okay, just about 5 o'clock now. So why don't the 6 of you, how many we got? Yeah. Why don't you take a little break here, maybe get a glass of water or get a beer or have a smoke or whatever, and come on back in a few minutes. And I'm going to play a song here. We've got new music from the January Lanterns released last night, and this is a good opportunity to kind of get this on and share it with people. And we'll come back in just a few minutes, and we'll visit with the remarkable Mr. Nic Danger, a young hip-hop artist here in the Como area who is just kicking it. So we'll come back and talk with Nick in just a few minutes. In the meantime, check this one out. It is the January Lanterns with new music. This is called Time is Softer. All right, let's do that again. That wasn't very good for brand new music. Got to do it right. Here we go. January Lanterns, Time is Softer.
All my thoughts could
brand new music there from the January Lanterns. Awesome stuff. Thrilled that they're still doing it. And Kristen, we'll have to get you back here in the studio with your partner there, and we'll play some more new stuff. All right. It's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. We're streaming on the web at kopn.org. Poetry and spoken word stuff this afternoon, plus a little hip hop thrown in, as we're going to prove here in just a minute. We've got a gentleman by the name of Nic Danger in the studio with us this afternoon, and if you're not familiar, let me tell you, he is kicking it. And I'm glad I finally got him down here, because we sort of been chatting over text and Instagram for the last year or so, but we finally got our act together, and I figured I'd better do it now before he gets too big and he won't come on this show. He'd be on Joe Rogan or some shit like that. So, what did I say? No, I didn't say that. Okay, so anyway, Nic, pleasure to have you here. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Nic Danger! Yay!
Danger's in the house, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, so for people who are unfamiliar, a little bit about your background and what you're about.
Columbia, Missouri native.
Hickman, Rockridge?
Hickman.
Yeah. Shout out to the Hickman grads out there.
The
My son's one of them.
There you go.
Yeah.
Really just grew up engulfed in music. My grandmother would always play everything from, the Eagles, Parliament Funkadelic, Prince, to Run DMC, Grandmaster Flash, Kool Moe Dee.
Oh, yeah.
Rage Against the Machine, Anthrax, and Public Enemy. So I grew up with diversity. And I'm the first generation in Colombia, and then on my dad's side, I'm the first generation in this country. My dad's from Venezuela, South America.
Wow.
So had a lot of inspiration coming up, seeing the different backgrounds. And
how long's your dad been here, man? That's some tough action down there in Venezuela for a long time.
Since 1985.
Yeah.
Since 1985. And when they told me their stories, I think that was my first real big inspiration. Knowing my dad was he's here and didn't really come with much family, and he just had like 2 quarters to his name, couldn't speak English, and then to overcome the adversity and prosper, boom. And then my mother came from the similar situation, poverty, and to overcome that, to have a 4.0 in high school, get her master's degree at 22 from Wash U.
Well, they taught you how to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the genes. I believe in the genes have memory.
Yeah. Well, and actions do too. You see it. It's one thing to hear about it, but you see somebody do it and they're close to you, you can do it.
Yeah, and that's what I want to send that inspiration to the youth. And that's, anything that I experience, I want to make it more, give them more access earlier, and make it easier for them to express themselves, and then bridge the gap between the youth and their elders or the adults or teachers. So there's a better understanding, and people can grow and prosper at an earlier age, and everything will just flow better.
How long have you been performing music? When did you start kind of really getting into it?
I started in the 4th grade with the music, like writing. The composition notebook, they slid in front of me. Boom. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was sunny outside. I was real quiet, stayed to myself, and then just slid. Boom. Today we're going to talk about poetry. And then that's when everything just shifted, and started learning about poetic device, puns, double entendres, and all this.
Yeah.
And then I just, this is me. I felt I was reborn. I was learning a new language, everything all at once. And then people started understanding me.
I see.
My first name was Another Human, because they said, why do you say that? Because anybody can do it. I'm just another human. That was what I tell people. And so then I started a band called Disruptive Perceptions. My friend Atlante at the time, he's from Spain. He would rap in Spanish and English.
Cool.
And then we had, DJs, live band. I was inspired about the Rage Against the Machine.
I love Rage.
And then,
I'm sort of not a great guitar player, but I like guitar. And Tom Morello was the guy that just blew my mind when he was doing stuff that that's on a guitar. You got to be killing me. And Zach's just crazy.
Zach, yeah, their message is to rage against the machine, to be against the status quo. And that's where the danger comes from. Nic Danger's putting people in danger who don't want to see the underdog prosper. Don't give a chance to the people who are talented or that have drive. I want to be that danger to the standard that pushes everybody out and makes it where you can't express yourself and be who you want to be.
Love it.
Everybody has potential to do whatever you want to do. You just got to believe you first. Once you believe it, and then everybody else will believe it, because you'll move with intention.
I sort of think that you need one other person. You need yourself, but you need one other person that ain't you that says, hey, you ain't crazy. You are right. You got it, and you can do this. And I'll be there to help you, or at least give you advice or whatever. I had that in my life. I had one man that taught me how to be a man. Actually, I was a mess. Many years ago. I'm an old man now. I'm 60 years old almost, right? But man, when I was your age, I was a mess, and you guys are kicking it. Bummy, I'm talking to you too, and it's a struggle out there, right? It is a struggle for sure, but you guys are going at it in the right direction and with the right method, because it's hard for everybody. But it's one thing to go stay in the ditch. It's another thing to get out of it and show people that they can. So I appreciate what you're doing. I'm real. I almost said I'm proud of you, but I got no reason to be proud of you because I got nothing to do with your success. I'm proud for you, and I hope that you keep it going, Nic. You've had a couple big shows. What was it like seeing crowds like you saw in St. Louis in the last couple months with Nelly? And you had what was the other?
Flow Rider.
Yeah, Flow Rider too. Yeah. So what's it like? I mean, I know it's work paying off, but just the experience.
It was my third show with Nelly. We're actually in Lampe, Missouri, but the DuQuoin rather than DuQuoin, Illinois with Flow Rider. I just feel at home because when I step on stage, I think about my ancestors, I think about my mom, my dad, and remember why I'm doing it. To me, tangible things mean nothing. My clothes, car, none of that means anything. But the people who put the work in before me, who died and was walk with barefoot with blisters and died of disease fighting for what they wanted. Now when I step on that stage, it's like we won. You know what I'm saying? When I step on stage, it's a victory.
They
for
didn't
not
do
just
it
me.
for nothing.
It wasn't in vain.
That's right.
And it's a victory for the people too. So it's not just a victory for me. It's a victory. It's victory for the people. So when I step on stage, I remind people. I tell people, look left, look right. Realize everybody's different, believe different, all that. It doesn't matter. If we work together, we can all win. So I agree. It's a great message. All right, what you got going tomorrow? Tomorrow is the Hip Hop Unity Day. So it's a day that's centered around especially the youth and mental health awareness and empowering them, the youth, through the 5 elements of hip hop. And I used to assume that people knew what those elements were. Let them have it. I don't do a lot of hip hop on this show just because, frankly, there's not that much out there. But I love it, and I love the fact that you're here sharing it. So I'm sure some people don't know what those 5 points are. Please do. So emceeing or rapping, master of ceremony is the spoken word of it, which I always say can translate into public speaking or being able to speak in front of large groups of people. Okay. Which can be useful in life. So that's a tool that hip hop can teach kids how to speak. Hey, language is what it's all about. I mean, and language is what all of this stuff is about. Poetry, at least lyrical music, and that's how you get your point across, is with the words. And so the better you are with the words, the more effective that message is going to get through. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I agree. And then you have graffiti, which is like the visual art of the whole culture. You have DJing, which is creating a new live mix from previously recorded music. Right. So, I mean, everything is sample-based. Everything is sample-based, and people don't realize that. Then you have b-boying or break dancing. It comes from, we can go back to the DJ Kool Herc, Clive Campbell, August 11, 1973, 1520 Sedgwick Avenue in the Bronx. Him and his sister, Cindy Campbell, came from Trinidad. And they just wanted something for people to do. And so they, at 1520 Sedgwick Avenue, they threw an event August 11th, and that's where they say hip-hop was born. And Kool Herc, he would extend the break in the record. And when he would do that, he called it the merry-go-round. And he noticed people would just stay out there and start dancing to the break. Yeah. And he started calling them break boys and break girls, hence b-boy, b-girl, hence break dancing. Yeah. And so... You learn something every day. When people say, I don't know how to break dance, I look at them and say, yeah, you do. All it is dancing to the break in the record. So anybody can do that. That's awesome. So we said graffiti, we said MCing, we said DJing. What else did we? MCing, graffiti, DJing, rap. Oh, that's rapping. Break dancing. Right. That's the 4, right? That was 4. Yeah, that's 4. And then the 5th is knowledge, which is kind of self-explanatory. Is knowledge in all the elements, and just taking it further, like, okay, writing, learning poetry, learning rap, learning country, and just expanding your horizon, listening to different things, different dances, like breaking, like I said, just going off to the breaks and the records, but then it became the 6-step or top rock, down rock, up rock, down to a 6-step CC swipes, the basic 3-step, 2-step,
Right.
6-step.
There's actually a language and a technology to the whole
Exactly.
all of it. So
and then like house dancing is real big. Then you got lofting, which is breaking to house music. And so it's just like variations. The same
Right,
with voguing
right.
comes from whacking, which come from Camelot.
So all this is going to be celebrated tomorrow afternoon down. It's at Cafe, right?
Cafe Berlin. It's 220 North 10th Street, 65203, Cafe Berlin, 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. tomorrow, September 17th. We have special guests.
All afternoon. So you got all kinds of people there.
And some great people. We have DJ Charlie Chan Soprano. It's Run DMC's official DJ. Rest in peace to Jam Master Jay. He's taking the torch, the baton. And then we have DJ Jailbreak, DJ Fusion, DJ Oak Tree, and we got some b-boys coming from St. Louis and possibly Kansas City, and then Jabberwockies. Joe
Nice.
and them coming. So we. I used to break with Joe back in the day, so it's all coming full circle. I was this kid. I was those kids that were breaking and b-boying and beating on the desk and beating on the wall. You can ask any teacher, anybody who knows.
Right.
They're like, he's not lying. What Karis once say, rap is what you do, hip hop is what you live, and we lived it. I used to have the spray painted boom box. I'd be walking and rapping, break dancing.
I love it. Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, you're a pro now, and that. All that stuff is part of it, man. That's what made you who you are, and that's cutting your teeth and learning the ropes. All of it comes from all that stuff. So, man, I'm thrilled about what's happening. What do you got coming up? Other than, we got the show tomorrow, but I know you got others. In fact, I think if we're good, you're going to be back here next week, and we're actually going to do a live performance. We
definitely can see what's going on. We just have, there's so much popping
I know you got
up.
a lot going on, so
much.
we'll talk off the air. But as far as shows that are coming and things like that, you got anything else you want to share?
We have some pending shows that I don't want to talk about, but right now because they're pending, and I'm letting anybody's get
but
their
you're
hopes
excited
up.
about them.
Oh yeah. We're looking to turn this into an annual or semi-annual event, Nic Danger Hip Hop Unity Day, into that.
Make sure you leave one of those flyers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to definitely leave a flyer. And, I'm getting a proclamation for the day tomorrow. The mayor's giving me a proclamation for Nic Danger Hip Hop Unity Day.
Fantastic.
And my goal is to make this statewide and then, federally and nationally. And so, we start with hip hop and then just the music, save the arts, because there's funding and grant money.
Right.
And I tell people it says Nic Danger Hip Hop Unity Day, but it's breaking down the door so we can all, graffiti writers, DJs, all this, we now have a way.
Dude, I love it. Your ambition is outstanding, and you got the right message and the right angle. So I'm behind you. You got open invitation here. Anytime you want, you ever need a platform, you come here, let me know, whatever. And we'll talk off the air about next week. Tomorrow, Cafe Berlin.
Yeah.
All afternoon, all evening. It's gonna be outstanding.
Yeah, we got it. We're in the parking lot.
And you're performing as well.
I'm performing as well. We also have some really ill MCs. We have Xanady. We have Ralph Mids. We have Prophet. We have Shoes the Victory.
Nice.
We have the Ultraviolets. We got drum circles.
Hell yeah.
And we may even do some open mic. Maybe Bummy come through and do something. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you, we're going to chat with Bummy here in a second.
Ciphers on the ground, all that.
This kid's
Fire
talented
spinners,
too. Man, this kid on your right, he can do it too.
Oh yeah, we've done shows together.
Oh yeah,
we rock the blue.
Well, I know you know. I'm just saying I know too.
Oh yeah, we all hip, leg, and thigh.
So all right, quickly, who you got behind you here that you got kind of with support here?
It's Tanya Team Como.
Hi Tanya.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Appreciate you coming down.
Thank you.
You're supporting this man, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
Good work.
It's all about helping the youth find their potential through expression.
Well, we got a bunch of it, and a lot of it comes through this station here, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it because we really have a great group of young, talented, outstanding musicians and artists around here, and I'm thrilled about it. So,
well, thank you for having us.
And this is Mandy, this is manager,
all right.
manager.
Hi, Mandy.
Hello. How are you?
Appreciate the work you're doing with Nic.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, cool. All right, Danger.
Nic Danger, yeah!
Check him out tomorrow. You can find him online anywhere. Nic Danger. What's the best way to get a hold of you? Instagram, whatever. So
you'll get a hold of me or somebody on my team, but it's NicDanger. It may take a little bit because I have people write me paragraphs, which I love it. But it's just I want to make sure that my answer's thorough and I answer any questions that people have. So
Now, as a quick side note, there's a local rock and roll band here called the Royal Furs.
I heard of
it. And the guy who plays guitar for the Furs is Mike Danger.
Wow, it sounds like a collaboration waiting to happen.
So Nick and Mike maybe need to get something going here. So
Nick and Mike.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Love you, Nick. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.
Oh,
Have a
yeah.
great time tomorrow.
Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, thanks again. All right, we've got poetry in the house. Oh, we're gonna play one from Nick real fast here. Nick, I'm gonna play Tap In.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick about the song.
This song is just really repping that I'm from Columbia, Missouri, the Midwest.
That's
and
right.
As I travel, I talk about Fresno and LA, but then I bring it back to Missouri, let them know where I'm from, so they don't get confused. You got to remind. Sometimes you got to remind
So
them.
they don't get confused. That's right.
Tap in.
There's plenty of confusion out there. Okay, check it out. Tap In, Nic Danger, Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia.
It's a DJ jailbreak production.
Tap in, Midwest to the world. Tap in, danger. Tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in. Midwest to the world, yeah we tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in. Midwest to the world, yeah we tap in, tap in, back in, back in, back in, back in. Every time we touch down, yeah we tap in, tap in, back in, back in, back in, back in. Every time we touch down, yeah we tap in, tap in, tap in, never tap out. Every time we tap in, it's a wipeout. Women dancing everywhere. Out, workout, twerk. Ain't with, get your out. Everywhere we go, we get mad clout. Fresno, to LA, back to Missouri, we don't play. Tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in. Midwest to the world, yeah we tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in. Midwest to the world, yeah we tap in, tap in, back in, back in, back in, back in. Every time we touch down, yeah we tap in, tap in, back in, back in, back in, back in. Every time we touch down, yeah we tap in. Throw your hand to the sky, drop your down low. Throw your hand to the sky, drop your down low. Drop it down low, drop it down low, drop it down low, drop it down low. Every time we hit the stage, loud like a drive-by. See me coming, loud da 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 da. But the zombies pumping zines, it's a zines. All I know is grind. No watch, but it's a time, tick the time, ticking time bomb. Blow your mind, mind. So I'm mind, stay up in your lane. Who you coming missing like your name is David Blaine? Go with a bag, getting bands, we be moving, they just stand. That's the shit I don't understand, so we had to take a stand. Everywhere we go, yeah, it's a party. And everywhere we go, yeah, they get naughty. Tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in. Midwest to the world, yeah, we tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in. Midwest to the world, yeah, we tap in, tap in, back in, back in, back in, back in. Every time we touch down, yeah, we tap in, back in, back in, back in, back in. Every time we touch down, yeah, we tap in. Put your hands to the sky, drop your down low, hands to the sky, down low, drop it down low, drop it down low, drop it down low. Put your hands to the sky, drop your down low, hands to the sky, down low, drop it down low, drop it down low, drop it down low. Nic Danger.
Ha! All right, cool stuff there from Nic Danger. And you're listening to it here, Open Mic Radio. I kind of had a little mix-up at the beginning of that. Get the podcast in a couple days, and we'll have we'll have a nice cleaned up version of that one. Okay. Let's see now. I've got to reload this email. I'm hoping I got something from Bummy here, which I do. So, B, why don't you go grab a mic over there. So, for those familiar with the program, you would be familiar with my next guest.
Yes.
His name is Bummy.
Oh, are we live?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, they can hear me.
They can
Fantastic.
hear you. Can you hear yourself?
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, one of my favorite guests in the program here. Remarkable young writer. Producer, rapper. I mean, he does a lot of things. And anyway, he's back with us for a little bit here. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good.
Bummy?
It's good to see you. You know, we're in a crazy time in reality right now, so it's good to kind of step back and see the good ones.
I feel you on that one.
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
Man, stressing about life and making it work and, making the music happen. I recently had some technical difficulties, so I couldn't bring as much music as I would have liked. But we have a new one in the works for next month. So
I was going to ask you, I think that you're...
my laptop.
You had a computer
broke.
problem or something.
Yeah, 5 years worth of demos and stuff just gone. So... Yeah, and the master files. So some of the instrumentals for the newer tracks that have come out are inaccessible. Unfortunately, man. But it's all good. It's all good. You know, like I say, you know, you got to start fresh. It's all good. You know, I still got the same resources and ability to make more. So it's
that's right.
Not gonna let it get in the way.
Do you need a computer?
I got one.
I was going to say I was going to hook you up.
I just got a nice one. I'm excited about it. Yeah,
all right.
It's working well.
Okay, so as I get this song loaded here, who's Taylor Thomas?
Taylor Thomas is a local Columbia artist, and they're super cool. So they have an incredible voice, which you'll hear. They're not here today, but hopefully I'll get them in concert with me soon, so we can do this live.
Let's just do a tester to see if I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm hearing
cool.
it. Hey.
All right. Okay, so we don't have a whole lot of time.
Yeah.
But we're doing a Halloween show on October 28th.
Yes.
I'm stoked. I'm super stoked.
Yeah.
We're going to make that into a party.
Oh, yeah. I want to.
Maybe even a costume party.
I was about to say.
You're probably going to come in costume. Right?
You already know. You already knew. Yeah. If you didn't know, I was going to surprise you.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna really take some time to plan that one. So,
oh yeah.
All right. Anyway, so check that out on the 28th of October. Bummy will be back for a full show, and we're going to do a 2-hour October Bummy special. It's
Bummy Bonanza.
It's a Bummy Halloween, baby.
It's a Bummy Halloween. The Bummy Christmas. The Bummy Easter.
Right.
Yeah. We're hitting all the holidays.
So, so you're a little bit of a technical glitch, but you're back at it now.
Yeah. We're back at it.
And you got some new stuff. We got one here. You're gonna play for us, right?
Yeah. Hopefully, working on a new project soon. So.
Well, what do you mean by that?
I'm gonna leave it vague.
Okay. All right. Okay.
No promises.
I'll let you. Yeah. Let's play one though, okay?
Sweet. All right. This
one is called Worms.
Worms.
It's
and this
with
is
Taylor
with
Thomas.
Yeah.
And anything else you want to share before we do it?
Maybe afterwards. Let's just go into it.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Open Mic Radio. This is Worms. It's Bummy on Open Mic Radio.
Thank you. Picture me starting out at 12 without a dream in the world. They used to laugh on the name when I was getting up early. I'm still getting up early, I just laugh at the worms. They ain't even worth nutrition, praying victim to the birds. Middle finger to my face and I just turn the other way, I'm not cursing. Look closer at this ciggy when I sign, it's not cursive. Really in this world to grab your woman's purse. Me and all my family, I'm worth it. Suit them fools, gold deals, and I'm really swerving them. Waiting for the pole shift, I'm like the ghost of earth again. I manifest my mind right for independence. Finding purpose in a dark time, really trying to blindside my future vision. Religion in the sky, I'm like I'm speeding through the dark to find a destination shiny, trying to fly before I die. Lost the archive, it's alright, I'm making more to satisfy. Open up the project like it's hook and line.
Speeding from my problems, I just can't let off the throttle. So I grab another bottle, okay. Losing my composure, cause I can't taste my baby to come over, okay. Another pain and stress left over. Miss my body, I want some closure. Miss the sun, yeah, I'm getting colder. Miss the me that I was sober. The pain away, I'm drinking, don't say today. You know I can't be no lame. I got too much shame, I got too much pain. I can't see the picture, it's out of frame. Like my soul, my bed away, that I will pave the way. I'm in the air like Superman. I'm here to save the day. I'm here to save the day.
Or you can check me, my name ain't Mark, it's still Bummy. If you want something from me, you gon' have to ask humbly. Lots of rappers stumble on remarks, I'm really wearing mine. Hit the timeline and see the hearts, but I'm still sitting in the dark. In the dark. In the dark. Blindside my future vision. Nobody likes a fade out. I gotta talk over the fade out.
Wow, I tell you what, man.
Yeah, what are we thinking? What are we thinking?
It's so solid, my brother.
Thank you.
So good. I've come to expect it from you. So honestly,
that means a lot.
Yeah,
it means a lot.
I mean
seriously.
it. I love it, and I'm so glad that you got it.
You know, I did.
So
you go through periods in life, especially as an artist, where you doubt yourself, and you finally learn that you're doing it because you want to, and regardless of how much you're going to complain about it or complain about any situational thing, you're probably still going to be doing it anyways.
Yep.
So why not just enjoy every second of it?
Yeah.
You know. So that's kind of where I've been at recently, and I think it's been making the music a lot better.
Well, the music's always been good.
Thank you.
But it's still good. And
depression is great writing fuel.
Well, yeah. They say a hard life makes a good song.
The great
true that.
equalizer.
You know?
Yeah, totally.
So quickly, Matt Deathrow in the corner. Hi, Matt.
How we doing?
Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
I'm glad that your bionic arm is getting better.
It's getting there, man. One day at a time. One day at a time.
You
we
met,
have the
you met
technology
Bummy here, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got to know each other.
His real name's Brian.
Yeah.
Hey, don't expose that alien. I'm just kidding.
I know they had. All right. Okay, so Bummy, I love you, and I'm so proud of what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
And I can't wait for October.
I
We're
know,
gonna,
28th.
We're gonna have a great Halloween party.
We
here.
gotta make something.
Matt, you probably got something. When are you heading back to New Orleans?
Probably by Halloween.
Okay.
It's very rarely I miss
Halloween's
New
pretty
Orleans
wild down there.
It lasts about 3 weeks. Actually, they're getting started right now without me. You know.
Right.
You're gonna show up to the after party.
Oh yeah, man.
Well, hey, if you stick around for a little bit, maybe we'll play something from your record to close the show. I'm going to get the poets back in here, and then we'll do a little bit more poetry, and then we'll play a little Matt Deathrow on the way out. How about that?
That works.
Okay. All right, cool. Bummy, my brother.
Man,
I'll
fantastic.
see you soon,
Oh,
all right?
yeah.
That's so cool.
BUMMY music on all.
That's
on,
right.
Instagram.
If you want to find him anywhere, BUMMY, Bummy
yes,
Music.
BUMMY. Thank you so much
And
for having me, Mike.
it's so cool that you and Nick are pals. I'll tell you what, he is busting it too.
I know.
And
He always has, and I met him years ago, and we had that one Blue Note show, and he always shows that same grind. He's never not determined, and
I love it.
You gotta love and work with people who are like that. You know?
Stay in touch with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
You know it, man.
All right, I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Absolutely. Stay in touch, too.
All right, Bummy in the house and now out of the house. He is amazing. Check him out, Bummy Music. Find him on Instagram and anywhere else out there. A lot of YouTube stuff, too. So great stuff. Thank you. All right. Let's bring the poetry gang back into the house here. There's Miss Grace. Kay's walking in. There's Bummy coming back, and he's going to grab... No, you don't want to, right? Leave the place the way you left it. The way you found it. How's it go? I guess we always leave the place the way you left it. Okay, Ann, hi. Grace, hi. Elizabeth,
Hello.
Don, Kay, Jimbo. Okay, we are going to do some more poetry here. And I'm going to kind of say... I'm going to ask who'd like to read something.
Grace, I think, said she's got some more, right?
Grace, I know Elizabeth has more. Kay, you want to read another one? Don, you maybe do one more?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try to get one more from everybody here. Ann, I don't know if you've got another one. You probably do, but we've got some time here. Jimbo, you want to do one more song, maybe? Sure, yeah. Okay, so it's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 point fine. We are 89.5, by the way, and we're also 89.5 on the FM dial, and we're streaming on the web at kopn.org. And we've got a bunch of wonderful poets in the house this afternoon with us, and we had a visit from Nic Danger. We got Bummy here, Memphis is here, and I'm going to just kind of turn it over here, and we're going to have Grace do a poem for us. Tell us a little bit about it, Grace.
So this poem I wrote early one morning, drink over coffee. That's like how you start.
Like recently, or?
Yeah, no, it's a recent one.
Okay.
And I had a really fun time writing it.
All right, well, I can't wait to hear it. So, please.
Okay. And I guess just something, I used to work as a conservation biologist, so a lot of my work
interesting
references nature. So
very cool.
This one is called Proboscis, or Your Tongue. This calm dawn, a bee buzzes inside, a small round bean, plump and filling with each good pass. Pollen swollen feet, yellow and green, secretive squash flower, opened by the wind, its skirt filigree and scent. Tangy, new, something citrus, a slight lime. A song lights from your lips, a light flies from your eyes, a new sound reaching mine in this choir of summertime delight. Bearing fruits of that sunshine, now a bedlam of cold jewels on their coats, the gold light spilling over the corbiculae, my cup spilling over, the pollen baskets full as picnics under shaded hickory, and I feel myself entirely too mortal for this brief, grief-bedecked world of pleasures.
Beautiful. Wow, there's some language in that one.
Yeah.
I like the words.
Thanks.
Very cool. All right. Grace, if you decided to write like a bunch of poems, would you put them in a book? Is that stuff that you? I know Anne has a little bit of published material. I'm not sure if the rest of you do here, but is that something that you do or that you'd like to do?
It's definitely a dream of mine. I have written extensively, so personally,
you've got enough material.
I've got like 5 or 6 manuscripts. So
okay,
maybe one day they'll be out there.
All right, very nice. Okay, let's see. Kay, how about you?
Yes.
All right, cool.
I have this poem. This is the one that I kind of originally wanted to share when I knew I was going to be coming on here.
Well, I love the first one that you did, though, too, because it really jived with what Don was talking about the whole multi-universe thing. Yes.
Anyway. I was literally thinking about that as I was saying it.
Right.
And it's cool. That happens a lot in our poetry club, too, where, like, we'll all come in with these different things, but it'll all just connect, and we have great conversations.
It's beautiful. I love it. Okay, do one for us and tell us a little bit about it first.
Yeah, so I wrote this poem like about a year ago when I was like getting into it. This is maybe like my favorite poem that I have written so far. I really like it. Again, it's like a healing experience. It's about my journey through life. And yeah, I'm excited for you guys to hear it.
All right, please share it with us.
Okay. A broken person all cut up by the broken pieces of its life. What did I do? All I did was exist. Why did God meet me with an angry fist? This is so unfair. Please let me out of this cardboard box with jagged shards lying about. The box shifts and they move, cutting me up every time. Why can't it stay still and let me fix what was mine? It was once crystal clear, the mirror that lets me see what's true about the world and who's the real me. Someone hit it so hard that the whole thing shattered. Now I can't put it back together without getting battered. Stop shaking this box that held my precious mirror. I need to take a look inside to see myself clear. I can't tell who I am or even my own demands. Broken shards tell a broken story and the edges cut my hands. I want to understand myself so that other people understand me too. Always looking to others, it's what got me through. My own mirror was broken. What was I supposed to do? I couldn't look at myself without hurting myself too. I've gotten cut so much, and somehow still I'm here. I must have such thick skin that's built up over the years. I know it hurts, but please try for me. You can do it. You can be happy. Of course it will hurt, but it will feel so good. You don't know the euphoria that comes with being understood. You're strong enough now, your thick skin will only grow, and if you ever need gloves, you have places you can go. Of course you have to do it alone. It's scary, but it's true. You're the only one who knows how the mirror will look when glued. No one can tell you that. It's hiding deep down inside, but you can access it. Just come along for the ride. If it hurts, let it hurt. That's the best you can do, because those tears that come out, well, they're the glue. The more it flows, the better you'll feel. You're letting the pain out and letting it heal. Look, the pieces are coming together. The cracks, they'll have to stay. But look, there's less pieces now and less edges to get in your way. Thank you for all you've done. I know you wish it wasn't real. I know you wish you had thin skin so there would be nothing to heal. But it's a superpower, I swear. One day you'll come to see your strong and capable hands in the mirror that shows me. It's a beautiful mirror, I promise you that, one the world has never seen. It has more to show to you than you would think, wonders that you can't even dream. Whatever that mirror shows, you have no room to judge, because that mirror will show you me, and together it'll show us. I know you're scared of what you'll see, but once you look, you'll be free. You were so young when it first broke, you don't remember the feelings it invoked. True satisfaction, love, and bliss, you're on the search for those feelings you've missed. They'll come to you, but you have to work hard. I know it's unfair, you didn't ask to be scarred. But once you look in that mirror, it'll be worth it, I swear, because we'll finally get to meet and you'll finally have someone who cares. That moment will feel so good when you finally see yourself for who you truly are and not for anyone else. We're getting closer every day. It's too important to stray away. I love you. I know that's hard to say, but I love you, so I'll say it anyway. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you, Kay.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay. Oh, okay. Open mic radio, poetry this afternoon, and just having a wonderful time. Let's keep with it here. Don, would you like to do one?
Yes. This is I wrote this from something I saw when I was a witness sitting in the courtroom. So I was watching the courtroom dramas there, and this came to me. Actually, it's called Courtroom Drama. Ain't no drama here. Boring, boring prison garb sitting on my rear, watching prisoners speak. I can't understand. Maybe we should sing songs and play drums in the band. On and on it goes slow. The final judgment we don't know. They're against the law and broke someone's rules, standing, striped garbs, talking, mumbling like fools. Bailiff frowns, he's really so cruel. Dozens of cases, walking, standing in. We can't really hear well. What was the sin? Then there's another one that's a similar thing. I went to a city meeting of the city, and was watching what was going on, and so
why don't you read that one too?
It's kind of the same kind of thing.
Okay.
City meeting, citizens greeting, giving greeting, counsel getting, continue regretting, speaking from the floor. Please listen to more. Law enforcement waiting at the door, complaining community asking for more. Comments abound, can't shut them down, can't find direction from any section. What to do when they come after you? Is it fake or real? Who is really behind the wheel? Give us a break, not a heartache. Giving us time to respect our mind. Students of university give such diversity, ideas all around, sometimes mentally sound. Can we stand it for a while, or just stand up and walk out the aisle? No matter which way you turn, it's great to adjourn.
Fantastic. Is it fake? Is it real? Who's really behind the wheel? That couldn't be more relevant, I think today in the world that we live in, actually. Fantastic, Don. Thank you very much. Okay, we are we're getting tight on time here. Jimbo, you want to play a song for us?
Sure.
Okay, we're going to have a song from Jim. Maybe Chris could help with the mics. Just kind of halfway between the vocals and the guitar, I think, maybe, right? And yes, it's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. Stick around, Rosh Shumba and a reggae party coming at you in just a little bit here. Kurt's not with me to yell and scream that, but put your dancing shoes on and roll yourself a big fat Bob Marley joint and pop a red stripe and enjoy the wonderful reggae roots rock sounds of Rosh Shumba and a reggae party. That's 6 to 8 tonight after this program, and Blues on Broadway, 8 to 11 after that. Okay, really cool stuff for the rest of the night here on KOPN. Okay, so Jimbo, what you gonna do?
Okay, I'm gonna do this song. It's called Oxy Blues, and it's about this young person I met who was struggling with opioid addiction.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And it really hit me because she was only like late teens, and was really going through a tough time in life. And we're working together, and it was it was, but she was a really amazing person, so I wrote the song about her.
Very good. All right. Once again, it's Open Mic Radio, and this is Jimbo on the guitar. Oh, awesome. Jim, thanks. Okay. Lost Angel, I guess that one's called. Oh, okay.
It's called Oxy Blues. But
oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, you said that at the beginning of the, before the song. Anyway, it's beautiful. All right, it's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia. We are going to get a couple more poems here and then wrap it up and hand it on over to Rashumba. I think, Anne, I'd like to have you read one more because I think you have one. And Elizabeth, perhaps you'd kind of close things out with one, if you don't mind. Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you get? What? Tell us a little bit about what you're going to read, Anne.
This one's called Silent Accusations Among Lovers, and I've read it a couple times at a couple different venues in town, one's at Rose Park, and it got a really good response, so I think I'll read it again. For
Are there other poetry events?
I just somehow happened to come across them. I don't, but I think Grace knows some things. You were telling me earlier about something.
They have them at Cafe Berlin. They had a
it was just online.
They had a poetry show at Cafe Berlin last.
But I mean, I'm just asking it sort of in a general sense. Are there poetry shows out and about where you can go and kind of do this kind of thing?
Cafe Berlin has them.
They do. Okay. So regularly.
Yes, yeah. Also, Fretboard has open mic nights and like Love Coffee and School of Metaphysics. There's like a lot of.
All right. So anywhere there's an open mic night, you can go and do spoken word stuff,
have
poetry.
A few places, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So
back to you. Silent Accusations Among Lovers. Candled hands, handled ice glares, where the temperature's too warm. The fiddle plays the needlepoint scissors, cutting at the burns of what is past. Our remembering too much as we pine for forgetfulness, standing too close in awkward silence too long. We kiss to forget, we kiss as a fight, losing our memory and betrayal in this kiss. Candled hands, handled ice glares where the temperature's too warm. The fiddle plays the needlepoint scissors, cutting at the burns of what is past. Judgments can run deep, twisting the mind and heart. Unfray your heart with absolution, facing the adored traitor, rinsing your bloody teeth in each other's eyes. Candled hands, handled ice glares, where the temperature's too warm, and the fiddle plays the needlepoint scissors, cutting at the burns of what is past.
Wow. Awesome. Well, we've got time for one more, and then I'm going to wrap things up here, and we're going to hand it over to Ross Shumba and a reggae party. But Elizabeth, you have something perhaps that you can share with us to kind of wrap things up here?
Oh, sure. I'd be happy to. This song is, it's not a song I write songs to, but
oh, okay.
But it's a poem. It's I don't know what I was doing when I wrote this poem, but I did something. I'm not sure what I did. It's called Fallen Woman. It's normative to feel some trepidation panning gold at underside of tables periodically at tea from time to time in the school of soft knocks where I happen. To play the harp well, to sing many a song, to see, and by the way, to see the city tire. I floated your river like a fallen woman of the northern winds, like she of down tree and auroras singing, we queens in tributary state, root-bound, crowned by the river's edge. The land will mark its time and open, have no doubt. All is yet lost. Still, I bear gifts. Have at them. Here you go. Our saved skins. Yours and mine, in kid gloves, marveling crystal, quick-carved skulls, women, men, tributes, bulls, dancers, red wine and cinnamon, tithe of my fields by weight and measure unknown. All manner of these do I bring, Solomon, for the North would ask you question. To answer, they did it hearing stars at a game of lip and bone. They did it falling blindly to feel colors on their tongue. And in the end, they both said, Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. How about it? All right. Hallelujah. We made it to the end of this radio program, and it was a damn good one. I would like to do this again. Maybe we do an annual thing at least, right? So, okay, Ann and Kay and Jim and Grace, Don, Elizabeth, what a pleasure. Thank you for coming and doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, and I'll have a little podcast ready in the next couple of days. I'll send you the link, and if you want to share it or whatever, okay?
Yeah, I can send it to everybody else.
Yeah, that's great. So, all right, once again, the Poetry Club meets?
First and third Wednesday of every month, upstairs in the Armory at 7 p.m.
Okay, and if anybody wants to get in touch with these great people, you can give them their information now if you want. Smoke them if you got them, isn't that what they say? So there you have it. All right, you've been listening to Open Mic Radio. It's KOPN Columbia. All right, coming up in the next week or so, or in the next weeks, I should say, Nic Danger, as we mentioned earlier. He'll be here next week for a full program. We'll do some live stuff with Nick, hopefully. The Stoplight Flyers are coming. Dream Squeeze. Dave Dernley, my good friend, will be back in a couple weeks. The Huckleberries, Matthew Crook, Bummy Halloween, Ray and Chaz, Nick Parr and the Selfless Lovers, Bannister Tarleton, and Rocket Kirshner will be back with Bannister. That's in November, I think. In fact, he doesn't even know that yet. Anyway, a bunch of our regular guests, as always. Email address, mikehagan@mikehagan.com, the website, mikehagan.com. Get the podcast, send me music if you'd like to be a part of the program. And that's it, okay? You've been listening to Open Mic Radio right here on KOPN Columbia, 89.4. All right, I give up. I hope you all enjoy the rest of the weekend, okay? Be cool to yourself, be cool to other people, and stick around. Ross Shumba, we'll catch you all next week. And I'm going to get one from Miss Rae Fitzgerald on the way out of here.
I think I'm gonna try